Hey there peeps, what is up? It is Lucas here from Rebellious Noise Screen 1 and I'm here to film you in on the latest going on in the world of the big screen and the small screen at home. First, of course, we start with what's happening now. And now I know, sorry, it's been a minute since we last caught up, but we are back, and so is cinema by the looks of it, both in the UK and in the United States. Over in the United States, it seems that things are booming, as it was the first $100 million weekend since the global pandemic began, thanks largely in part to two new releases, the first of which being the highly anticipated and longly awaited sequel to A Quiet Place 2. The film starring Emily Blunt and her real-life husband John Krasinski. One of the first feature films to kind of be delayed because of the pandemic, and now coming out of it, it seems that it's one of the first films people have flocked to go and see. With a taking of $48 million in its opening weekend, it has smashed all kind of pandemic records, which I think we're going to be hearing quite a lot over the next kind of few months, as it has become the biggest opening weekend of the pandemic. But not to be outdone, in second place was Disney's Cruella. That's a reimagining of Cruella. It's worth noting here that the film is rated PG-13. So unlike other Disney affair where it does attract more of a family crowd, this one obviously is only for really like the older kind of crowd. The older kind of kids in those families. Nevertheless, it managed to take in $21.3 million for a 3-day total. And of course, this past weekend in the United States was Memorial Weekend, which is usually the big start of the summer blockbuster season and where you see some of the biggest films get released. So it was fitting on this year's Memorial Weekend we saw the two kind of biggest films thus far of this summer season get released. And over the 4-day weekend as well, we see A Quiet Place 2 pushing past $55 million in total. Over on this side of the pond though, it seems that we are going hopping mad, wait for the applause, for the long-awaited sequel to Peter Rabbit 2. The film, featuring the voice talent of James Corden, has grossed £2 million this past weekend, bringing its total to £8 million in the UK. Elsewhere, Cruella and the Conjuring sequel, The Devil Made Me Do It, both feature in the top 3, taking over £1 million. So the UK people, we're coming back, despite the fact that we are in the middle of a heat wave at present. Elsewhere, now this is a bit of a controversial fact here, but I'll say it anyway. Nomadland is looking likely to be the lowest grossing Best Picture Oscar winner, try saying that 3 times in a row, since Driving Miss Daisy back in 1990. However, it's a bit of a dud point because of the film is, number 1, it's having to be released during socially distanced venues, and number 2, is available to stream free on Disney+. Also, it's worth noting that Cruella is on Disney Plus at a price point of £19.99 in the UK and $30 for our friends over in America. But it's still showing that people, they want to go to the cinema to watch these films, and I'm so relieved that's the place to see it. I've seen Cruella just today, in fact, and if you keep a little eye on the channel, you might see a review coming for that film very, very soon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to so much coming up, so let's see what's happening next. Now, I'm not going to get to kind of release dates too much because a lot has been moved about. We've seen the Boss Baby sequel get bumped up to July. The Bond film finally has been confirmed for the 30th of September. It was previously in October, but it's been moved forward because of obviously how well we're doing, especially over in Europe when it comes to the vaccination program. And we're also going to finally be seeing The Father, the winner of the Best Actor Oscar, of course, Anthony Hopkins, starring in that alongside Olivia Colman, and that's finally coming out on 11th of June. We will then, of course, move to kind of bigger blockbusters to come, as Black Widow is out in July, and recent pictures have shown, I can't believe this is finally kind of happening, but have shown Harrison Ford on set of Indiana Jones number 5. Yes, at the moment it is set for a summer 2022 release, but of course we've been here so many times. This obviously film has been plagued by director changes, script changes, obviously commitment change of the actors involved, but it does seem that it's finally being filmed and that we are going to see it sometime next summer. And it is, say it's a highly anticipated sequel would be probably an understatement, as following the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and that poor reception, we've been waiting ever since. But Harrison Ford record pushing 80. It'll be interesting how they merge him into this sequel and what they do with him going forward. So yeah, what's happening on the small screen? Just a few little highlights here really. Disney Plus are going to be starting Loki series very, very soon on 9th of June, and the kind of summer kind of animation film that they're going to be releasing on Disney Plus is Luca. Now that's worth noting, that won't be a Premier Access feature, that will be available for everyone to watch and enjoy at home, as well as being on in the cinema. That's on the 17th of June. Netflix, meanwhile, they are debuting a series which I kind of wish they didn't debut, called Sweet Tooth. It's based on the DC property, and it's about a deadly virus that kind of ravages the world. Wonder if we've seen that before, eh? And it's starting on the 4th of June. And it looks like Kevin Hart might be moving away from the comedic roles, as he gets to start in the new Netflix drama, Fatherhood. And I've seen the trailer for this, and it is looking like quite the tearjerker. So it looks like Kevin Hart could be transitioning over to being a more serious actor. We've seen touches of this, like when obviously every comedy film has that kind of moment where the characters have to be serious for a minute. Don't Sue Me, Lance Storm. And you know, we see that quite a bit, but we're interested to see kind of how this is done, if this is going to end up being how he does. We've seen obviously comedic actors such as Jim Carrey have a lot of success with serious roles. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and The Truman Show, which he should have won an Oscar for, in my opinion, being two of those kind of highlights. And of course Robin Williams, you know, the late great Robin Williams, just phenomenal when it came to the serious side of acting also, as well as obviously the comical stuff. So we're interested to see kind of how Kevin Hart can follow in their footsteps. But yeah, look, there's lots coming up. My kind of last kind of final thought is, let's get back into the cinema. Let's see films how they're meant to be seen. I think it's great that we've got streaming services to watch at home, but that should be secondary viewing, in my opinion. Those should be things that, you know, you've seen at the cinema already and you want to kind of watch at home with your partner, with your family, whatever. But for those first showings, let's get to that big screen. Let's get the big sound, let's get the popcorn, let's sink into our seats, and let's enjoy what we're going to be seeing over the next year and the years thereafter. As Marvel have announced a new slate of films, we've got so much coming up. So guys, let us know in the comments below, what films are you looking forward to be seeing in the cinema? And also, have you seen any of the films that have been released so far? You know, when's your first cinema trip back? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until then, I've been Lucas, you've been watching Rebellious Noise Screen 1, and I'll see you again next time, where I will film you in.